Well, hello, everybody. It's another episode of Chatmosa's Growth, where we're building Chatmosa in public. We do try to do this every week, trying to get everybody together. It's like herding cats and animals, dogs. But I'm David with Chatmosa Product, and also have Camille and Sandra. Do a round robin, you guys. Say hi.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Camille. And
Hi, this is Sandra. What's up?
Yeah, we're all multitasking. Sandra's actually fixing bugs, so that's why she's off.
I mean,
She's
can you
actually
imagine?
off
You know,
mic.
can you imagine the people that do podcasts in person? All the logistics of like
Yeah,
showing up in the same, same day, same time in the studio.
equipment, the whole technical thing, as opposed to we just rolled out and hit the button, and then also hit the record button. That was
I
it.
know.
You know,
No, they have to brush your hair.
but
They have lights on.
Yes.
It's too
exactly.
much.
It's too much. I mean, that's the whole idea of Chatmos is if you're camera shy, you don't have to be on camera. You can create an audio or an audio and video without your faces being in big Zoom boxes, which is cool. Or, you don't have to kind of put your makeup on or you comb your hair. So that's the
Comb your
great thing.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, what a concept.
Comb your hair into the lighting. Yeah.
Yeah, lighting. So, which kind of brings us to today's topic we were going to talk about is like one of the big things we talk about here is like everybody asks us, what equipment do I need to do a podcast, audio or video podcast? And
Yeah.
so, it's really not that complicated. So, Camille, I'll let you take it
Yeah.
away.
It actually takes us aback when we hear kind of, I can't start my podcast because I don't have the right equipment, or what equipment do we need? We really built Chatmosa to, be as minimal in equipment as possible. It's kind of when you hop onto a Zoom, what kind of equipment do you really need? Especially if you don't want to be on camera for a video podcast, because our jumbotron is your video, so you could show photos and links and such, and do your video podcast there, not to really center it to your camera. So um I think what we could do is just start with, as far as equipment. I could
Yeah.
show my screen on, chat most of the way allow people have multiple cameras. I mean, not yeah, so people have multiple cameras, but people typically will have multiple mic and speaker,
Hmm.
right? So I'll show you my screen now. You'll see that this video with the static growth still will now change to my screen. And so you're seeing my screen. Hi, and I can even turn off my camera here because I'm camera shy, but there's two of us. And let me
Well, you're
make
showing the video avatars, which is actually really cool, Camille.
yeah, this is the video avatar, and that doesn't show up on the jumbotron, so you don't really need to show your camera there. But you can still talk to each other and kind of get a gauge on each other's reaction and whatnot. But we have this button right here in the bottom left. It's in and out because it's the only thing we could fit, but it's really your input and outputs. And you could select if you have multiple mics. So in my case, I do have multiple mics. I could
Mhm.
select which mic I want to use, right? Oops. And then I have multiple speakers. So my camera has a speaker, my computer has a speaker, I have an external speaker, and then
Dang,
my mic has a speaker.
you got a
My
TV in there.
Right? That's actually my monitor. My monitor has a speaker.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll have multiple speakers and you get to select, which speaker you want to use. In this case, I've shut off my camera for this purpose.
Mhm.
But if you're using your phone, you could select, like, if you want to use your front camera or your back camera. I happen to typically have two webcams on my computer. I don't know why. I think I was testing it, and then I have like this inputs, HDMI inputs, because I edit videos.
Mhm.
So you could use that as your camera. So really, it's this input output. And when you get to Chatmosa, sometimes because it's a browser, you typically your browser is not set up to allow your mic and speaker to be used. So you'll see on the upper right of my browser, I have this speaker kind of slashed closed. Some people, they'll get in and they're like, I can't hear anything or I can't speak. Uh, in my case, I purposely turn off my speaker for this browser because I'm connecting twice. I don't want it to bounce. But just click on that and then, allow your speaker.
Mhm.
Now, this is a Chrome browser. On the left, click on the mic, the same thing, allow the mic, you know. And that's pretty much how we give you control of your speaker, mic, and camera.
Your audio is like really good. I mean, I know all of our kind of attendees and hosts and co-hosts use different types of mics and different types of headphones and speakers. Like right now, I am on just old school wired earbuds, Apple earbuds with the built-in mic, which isn't bad. And what are you on as for your
You know,
hardware?
I am using a Fifine microphone, and I use this because during the summer, behind my computer, I have a little fan, and you were saying that you could hear my fan, right?
I could.
So I typically use an external speaker mic because I use it for meetings when Sandra and I hop onto calls. So it has to carry whatever noise is in the room. It has to carry that 360 degrees. But for podcasting, that's the opposite. I don't want it to carry everything. And so I got this kind of, what do you call this? Unidirectional mic.
Yeah.
But we could kind of go through the different devices that
Yeah. Let's take a look.
that'd be cool. So I'm gonna share here. The beauty of Chatmosa is you could share. And I have an Amazon affiliate link. So um, if you want to help me out, you could also purchase using my link. Hold on, let me.
Okay, we'll do it. While you bring up the screen share, everybody kind of, some folks attend using their iPad, just using the default speaker and mic on an iPad. Some people use their phones, right? It's not
Yeah,
the best quality for the speaker or the the Bluetooth AirPods with a phone, but you can do it mobile if you want.
yeah. When I'm on the go, I think we did a podcast and I was traveling. In the beginning, people, I just didn't want to, have to use up a bulky mic, and I
Mhm.
want to use my phone to hop onto Chatmosa. So this little device is really cool. I mean, again, it comes with like if your phone has the old iPhone that uses the Lightning, I think it's the Lightning adapter,
Yeah.
to plug in. This is the USB-C. So my phone is using a USB-C, and I got this adapter. In fact, look at this. It's like $8.99 for two,
Wow.
right? I gave one to my CTO that she doesn't use. Um, in fact, it's $8.99. I think, yeah, for two. For a single pack, it's $7.49. So you might as well get the two. Um, this device right here, you could click through it. You could purchase it. It's a great stocking stuffer. Um, the reason why I got this is I want to be able to use my headset. David, you're wearing a headset.
Yeah, it's
Um,
got a mini plug,
mhm.
kind of, the mini plug, earbud mini plug, yes. On
Yeah,
the left, the little circle.
yeah. That you plug that in, and then on the USB-C, I could plug in my power, so I could charge my phone while I'm using my headset. Because the new phones, at least my phone, doesn't come with a mini plug anymore,
Right.
and a really cool, like really like a basic, back in those like what 10 years ago, the headset that they give away for free when you buy a phone. That's really all you need, right?
Yeah.
But having this headset allows you to listen using the mini, or if you have any like bigger headsets that you want to use, you can even plug, kind of my podcast microphone into it. But it'll drain your battery. You're kind of running on battery. I like this, so I could plug it, power it up, and use the mic and speaker.
What have
So
you found, Camille, with your testing when it comes to, you were talking about the fan? Where does the noise canceling occur? Is that in the phone and in your Mac or your PC? I think it occurs in the device you're using, or is it in the hardware of the mic maybe? Because the mic you're using now, right? I can't hear the fan or anything.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like the mic I'm using now, the noise canceling is happening on the mic itself,
Okay, on the mic, got
right?
it. Yep.
Um, it could go all the way to the software Chatmosa, and we actually have a way to turn on noise canceling software side.
Okay,
Um, in the future, we could turn that on.
I see.
Um,
Yeah,
but I think the noise canceling. I mean, that's when you have to be aware of, um, you know, capturing kind of like the unidirectional versus what's around you,
yeah.
right? Um, if you really want to silence it, I mean, put a pillow behind between
Okay,
between your head. No,
not
um,
on your head.
not your head. But one of the things that's kind of tricky is when you use these wired headset, is like the mic kind of rubs on your chest or your clothing,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so that gets heard, right? So try to clip it. What do you do, David? I don't hear it on your end.
yeah. So the key is to make sure that it's not like rubbing on your any of your clothing. That's probably the key.
Right, because
Uh,
you don't hear it, but the people in Chatmosa or when it's being recorded,
Yeah,
uh, they hear it.
exactly.
And when you start to you're not saying anything, but you see that green ring kind of still moving around, it's capturing something,
Yeah.
you know.
So yeah, that's the key. Don't let it kind of rub on anything. But I spent like thousands of dollars on testing all of the plantronics and all of these different kind of headphones and these kind of the other headphone plus built-in mic stuff devices. And I found out the audio is always really tinny
Yeah.
until I got to go trying just like old school. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, that is like really crazy that the audio. So here's old
Yeah.
school with the mic built in. Who knew that mic audio was actually really good from these
Yeah.
old school things? And I think the AirPod Pro mics are really good, although they're Bluetooth, so you kind of maybe get that interference from Bluetooth dropping out.
Yeah. The only thing with Bluetooth is the interference. We've like found that um if you're at home and someone turns on the microwave, you'll hear that interference. If your Bluetooth is not properly charged,
Mhm.
that creates interference. And then sometimes it's actually not your headset and mic. Sometimes it's your internet connection. So people that are, if you're driving, which a lot of podcasters on Chatmosa do,
Mhm.
um, it'll start to skip because as you're driving, you're kind of moving from one signal service to another signal service. So those are the things that I would kind of just be careful with, right?
Yeah, these are the iPod Pros, which actually pretty good. But like folks we've heard from say sometimes they you lose audio from them probably through the Bluetooth just disconnecting, right?
Yeah, yeah. And when you do use these Bluetooth in Chatmosa, just click on the input output and sometimes just be very select the microphone that you want it to capture.
Hmm.
Don't have your phone or your computer speaker on as well. So in fact, we have that reset audio. It'll just reset. It'll pick
Hmm.
one mic and one headphones speaker. But those are the things that you just want to be aware of. You don't want to kind of hear the bounce back. Right.
Yeah, yeah, no feedback. That's the key. Okay, so you kind of went through the connector for mobile, which is good, and we've talked about iPad and mobile, and also on desktop, right? Some of the Bluetooth and the wired options.
Yeah.
What about if I'm going to be a host and microphones like the Fifine that you have?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of these mics, and you can watch all these podcasters. They have like these mics. I found this Fifine It's what I use. It's what you're hearing me use right now. Uh, what I like about this, well, it's not as expensive as the other mics, but it has a control for your mic volume and your speaker volume. So with this kind of mic, you could plug. There's a mini plug in the back where you could plug a headset in the back, and it captures. It's unidirectional, so it just captures me. It doesn't capture my fan, or maybe maybe it captures my dog when my dog whines with a really really high voice. Um,
Yeah, I
but
think,
it's
Camille,
yeah
one thing we found from this, didn't we, is that, and no one really tells you this, is that, say I want to have like 5 people on my podcast with their own microphone. Is that
oh yeah
possible
yeah well
with
well
a
yeah
USB?
yeah we'll go there
Okay.
right. So this mic right here plugs to a USB-C or a USB. So this mic right here plugs nicely to a computer or your mobile device if your mobile device has a USB-C or USB. But you would need an adapter. What do you call those plugs, David? The big one,
Yeah, XLR are the 3.
right?
There's the big round thing. The professional one is called an XLR
That's it, XLR.
mic.
So this one doesn't plug into an XLR. You would need an adapter for it. Although there is in the back of it, there's an XLR plug, but
Right.
it doesn't come with it. Um, I feel like if I'm plugging into a computer or my cell phone or my tablet, I don't need an XLR.
Right.
But if I needed to, if I'm gonna use it for maybe like karaoke or other uses on a bigger which we're gonna get into. You have multiple microphones in the room, and you want to use an XLR. It's this mic is doable for it.
Okay.
So the other things that you will need, at least for a camera like this, so you see that it's kind of like, it looks like it's hanging. Um, you'll want a stand,
Definitely want to stand.
and right, because that would prevent the microphone from like rubbing against your clothing, or
Yeah.
you're touching it. And so this one is just your typical like desk stand, and this one is like $40. Clamps to your desk, and then you have a stand, so it has an arm that you can kind of move around.
Mhm.
I prefer um, like a stand that stands on the floor. So let me share that, because sometimes I may not be podcasting on a table, by a table all the time, and
Yeah,
this
so this one you screw in, right? You find
yeah
the edge of your desk, and you
yeah
put it over and you screw it in, and sometimes it's a little awkward to get under the desk and try to screw that dang thing in.
yeah. So I like this kind of stand. It's on the floor, and it has just multiple use. So this stand is like, you get two for $42, and it comes with like that mesh for the wind.
Cool.
So now we're kind of like, I'm showing you, this is also good if you have multiple, like 2 people in the same room, you're podcasting. So yeah, yes, the 2 of you can be the same room podcasting on Chatmosa, but it's not necessary. But having a stand like that, so it's hands free. You're not, like banging against the mic, touching it. So that's a good one. I prefer that over the clamp on the desk, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're in a hotel room, then you have to find a place where you need to clamp it. Um, if you're doing a video podcast and you know you want to be on camera, you don't mind being on camera, then what a lot of people kind of forget about is lighting.
Oh,
And
yeah.
right, and we discovered this together. We did this for one of our live podcasts, and this is also only $48. I think it's a Black Friday deal for 2. 2 lights, right? And
Yeah, it's got the cool thing. It's got the little phone holder on it. So for
yeah,
using your phone, right?
yeah, you tinkered around this, right? And it comes in a bag. Did ours come in a bag? I don't know if ours came in
It came with a bag. But yeah,
but
this is totally cool. Or we just use like the clip-on ring light, of course, the normal, usual clip-on ring light, right?
yeah. So this is kind of cool because if you have a clip-on mic stand, you could clip it on your light.
Mhm.
Or you could use the stand for your mic. It's a straight, it doesn't have that bending arm. And then I think it changes colors. So
Yeah,
like, okay, it's $48 for 2.
yeah.
Like if you want to be on camera, this part I'm not a pro. I don't know where you would put these lights. What, left and right? I don't know. How does that
Yeah,
work?
and so it's called 2-point lighting. So what you want to do is kind of angle one on this, not right in your face like the ring light does. You angle one of these into your face, and the other one is 180 degree behind your head. So you get what's called a little backlight
Oh
on
wow.
your backlight. So it gives you kind of a two-dimensional when you're talking. So that's 2-point lighting, and then they have what's called 3-point lighting, which is like one left, one right in front of your face, and then there's one as a backlight. That's 3-point lighting. All right, that's
That
not
is
my little
wow.
lighting
See that?
101 trivia. Yeah, so this will give
Good
you
to
2-point
know.
lighting. I know.
Yeah, good to know. Well, then, so we're kind of moving into like, hey, there's 2 of you in the same room. You have the mics, you have the 2 stand for like $50.
Yeah.
You got the 2 stand for like less than $50. And then the other piece that, we discovered this also in one of like our live podcasts is this audio mixer, right? And why do you need an audio mixer,
Yeah. Why do you? What did we find out? We're like, oh, we just hook in 2 USB mics. It
right?
should be easy, right?
It should be easy. Like you could actually hook, because you have multiple USB plugs in your computer. But I know with the Mac computer, it only wants to listen to one mic.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you that.
It doesn't tell you that.
No one
Uh,
tells you that. I'm
Right?
very angry now.
Right?
Took us 3 days
That
to figure this out.
that was ulcer. I mean, they said you can do all these stuff with like utility and input, whatever, whatever. But forget it. Just get this. This is like $40 right now. Yeah, it's $39.99 Black Friday deal. Um, this mixer allows you to plug in 2 mics, whether it's USB, a mini, and XLR. And it's a good way so that um, your mic, what is it? It doesn't bounce. You're not gonna. You could have 2 mics in the same room talking to each other, you and your co-host. Right. So this is actually good, and I mean, I have to say it's a decent device. We used it, plugged it in, but it came in like, and maybe because we're in Los Angeles, like it came in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was like Uber Eats. It was better than like DoorDash. It was unbelievable.
I know.
But the big button I want to know about is the top right, 2 down from the power. The change voice button looks huge to me, Camille.
That's funny. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Robot, monster options. We didn't try that, thank goodness.
We did it because we were just so exhausted. But it's got baby, monster, elder.
I don't know what the hell there is. It sounds
That was pretty.
completely inappropriate.
Yeah, it's actually like a really cool. You could have you'll have 2 inputs. So you plug in the 2 mics, and you'll have like you could have headsets, 3 outputs. So you plug this into your computer.
Yeah,
So the 2 mics plug into this, and then from here you plug it to your computer. That's it.
easy peasy.
Easy peasy, and it's for $40. Comes in black, comes in white. So that's an equipment if you want to have 2 mics in the same room so that they don't, you know, it records one. I think it'll just go through one Chatmosa account though,
Yes.
right?
And the cool thing is that these are sliders, right? The last thing you need to be doing is opening up your settings in your computer and bringing up your audio source, and trying
Uh-huh.
to mix it. And then we tried like OBS You tried like a
Uh-huh.
gazillion different software to mix.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that? Because I remember it was a nightmare.
Well, we had a challenge because we were in a room, we had an audience, in-person audience,
Yeah.
and then we had a Chatmosa audience. And so in theory, it's a simple, easy thing, but like how do you I think our challenge was um how the microphone would you know,
Yeah.
how the people in the back in the room, in-person people could hear the mic.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing this podcast, you don't really hear yourself. You can't really hear like, mic check, mic check. You're just talking like as if you're in, just having lunch with someone. You're in a meeting with someone.
Yeah.
And so we were like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this without the bouncing, the mic capturing the speaker.
Yeah.
But you know what? Good thing I'm Filipino and had a karaoke machine.
Thank God you had that, right?
Uh,
So for the in-house.
right, so we talked about mics. The next thing is, and we talked about a little bit about the headset, like that wired earphone. The next thing is like I will typically just to hear myself on the mic. So if I'm working and I have someone next to me and they're working and I'm in the middle of a podcast, my mic doesn't hear them, working, but I don't need the people in the room to like, hear what's happening in the podcast. I just want to hear it, hear myself. So you can wear whatever headphones you have. I have a headphone that has a mini jack, and that's really the key is it has a mini jack. And I just connect it to my mic. You don't need the $300 Bose Sony headphones. Any headphones will do it. That part when people ask me like what you know what headphones do I need to look like a podcaster? I'm just like if you want to look like a podcaster and no one's gonna see you, just get any headphones. I mean, let me see here. And again, we are not sponsored or work for Fifine. Um, but I just found their products. It really is geared um, for podcasters, and it's a good starter. Cheapy. This is like $30.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend, Camille, using the built-in mics for any of these headphones from what I've done on my sound checks.
Yeah,
just for listening.
Yeah, I don't. I have like, I use this Bose headphones with a built-in noise, cancellation mic. I don't use the mic for it. You know, it's too much. It's overkill. I think this $300 versus like $30. You're fine with this $30.
Yeah,
They
you
come
want
in
something to cover your ears.
to cover your ears. It's a great way to also hear yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear like, are you breathing too much? Or
Yeah,
you could really hear what you're saying.
yeah, that's really helpful. So yeah, those are really the kind of the key items that we found. As far as devices, right? I wonder if there's any more kind of things that you brought up. One of the I just wanted to kind of call out the Chatmosa session that we did have in person and hybrid was this LA Tech LA week, LA Tech Week.
Oh, I
So,
know what.
yeah, what did we
It's the
find?
camera.
There you go.
Your webcam. You'll see that on this LA Tech Week. I think we were just so focused on the mic and the
Yeah,
speaker that we didn't like the camera's just like minor.
exactly.
But you'll see me on this camera. I'm on a laptop. I'm looking down,
Yeah, and it's
and it's
looking
not good.
up,
Yeah.
looking up. So we really needed an external camera. And I've used numerous external. I would not recommend using the laptop camera like you say,
Yeah.
because it's not very flattering looking up.
Yeah.
And then the high definition, for an 8K cameras external cameras are so much better.
Yeah, so you could take out this screen. I'm just kidding. No, but when I watch it, it's a good example of no, I'm kidding. Why you don't want to use your laptop camera
Mm-hmm.
because then you're looking down.
Yeah.
So it really just exaggerates your chin. But you want a camera that's like straight on, straight ahead. You could use the light, the stand from the light, and put your camera there because it's got a camera
Yeah.
mount. Um, you know, what do you say? I find that a camera that's higher than you is better.
Yeah, it's kind of the influencers thing. Sometimes when you take a selfie, you kind of
Maybe
point it
higher.
down. In
Yeah.
regular video, it should be level with your eyes.
Yeah.
So
Make an angle. It's also
but
like the angle.
definitely not looking up your nose is a
Yes.
no-no on there. But yeah, I've used a ton of different types. I've used, I don't know which ones you use, but I've used like the Netgears and all the other brands on there. I don't know if you have any on your list.
Yeah, you know what? Like I'm a big like Logitech
Yeah,
fan,
Logitech is good, right?
right? Like a basic Logitech, that plugs into like your USB or USB-C.
Yeah,
Um, I find that to be a decent camera because then you could use it for meetings or you could use it for podcasting.
yeah,
Um, some of them have like built-in lights, so you don't need to buy external lights. But I prefer, I think I think the camera webcams
yeah,
have come a long way,
yeah, yeah.
right?
I mean, that's what I've used in the past too, is Logitech cameras,
Yeah.
and they work out really well. But you have to kind of test them because some have settings that are good. You want to be able to some have built-in background blur,
Yeah.
backgrounds, which is really good. You don't want to use the mic in those external webcams.
Yeah.
So, but that works out really good.
Yeah, because it's too far,
Yeah,
and your voice is really the story of your podcast.
it is. It
So
is. Yep. Well, Camille, this has been awesome because now we've kind of went through what you recommend as far as hardware here using Chatmosa, and it's really a full spectrum, isn't it? From mobile to iPad to desktop to pro equipment.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really what you say that makes a difference. I mean, you can have all the gear, but if you're not talking about anything interesting, uh, your
Yeah.
podcast
All right.
will not go anywhere. But I would say like don't be intimidated with your gear. I think start with what you have. Um, to podcast, especially in Chatmosa, um, have a decent internet connection.
Mm.
That's I think over anything, and then work up to it. Work up to the. I would say the first thing you want to buy is a mic. The first thing you want to do is I think go for the like a wired earphone.
Yeah.
Start with that. $2.99. Nothing too crazy.
Yep.
And then I mean, like all the mic and the headphones that I have is because I have certain situations that may not apply to you.
Yeah.
So
All right. So yeah, and the good thing about Chatmos is you don't have to be on camera. There's not going to be a big Zoom empty box. You can
yeah,
just speak. You don't have to know how to write text like for Substack. And you can just kind of build up your little gadgets like that we're showing here on the Jumbotron. But yeah, you don't have to comb your hair. You don't have to put makeup on Chatmosa. All you have to do is have a good mic and talk. So
yeah,
that's the key. All right, we're going to leave it at that.
yeah,
Camille's hardware podcasting tips here at Chatmosa. It's been
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and all the prices that I mentioned is because of the Black Friday. So you win and click through and buy through the link that we shared here, and I win, and we all win.
We all win. All right. Thanks, Camille. That was awesome.
Thanks,
We'll
David.
talk next week. See
All
ya.
right, have a good
Bye.
Thanksgiving, everyone. There
Oh,
you go.
there we
There's the
go.
dog.
That's it. That's a good mic you got
There
there.
you go.
See ya. Bye.